Welp, back again with not a game today. Today we are just going to kind of review, in a way, the games I've played this year. So it'll be a short one, maybe not even enough time to do all of them, but let's do that. So let's just see which games I've played and just yap about it a bit, not a lot. So let's see, I should have everything on backlogged so I can see it easily. I've been keeping that. If you search my name on backlogged, I have the list of games I've played on stream. So yeah, everything is there. So let's see. Oh, and of course things aren't all that well. Actually, we can do this. We can make the window a bit bigger. Like that. And then go down a bit. It's a bit scuffed. Then the window goes a bit back. And there I am. It's a bit scuffed. But it will work. And because this isn't a game, I have some music on the background, of course. Harvest Moon Back to Nature, because it's the best farming game ever made. And then Stardew Valley. This one gets the old, gets right for being one of the oldies. Actually, I wish I could just have the window itself, but I think if I do this, it will hide the names of the games. So let's see. Let's start it. So where is backlogged? So first game I played this year, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Well, I don't think I have much to say about that one. It was Castlevania, and it was Symphony of the Night. But to tell you the truth, I didn't like it that much. It wasn't my favorite thing ever. I see the not music, Symphony of the Night, and I don't know if that's even properly written. And why is there so many covers? I don't know, because they don't tell me. Oh, you can see the names, it's perfect. Yeah, this works. So yeah, I didn't like some aspects, but I see why certain things were the way they were. I mean, it was like their first attempt in at a game like that, kinda. Well, it wasn't the first one, but you get it. Just a couple of issues that I had. Like, the weapons were very unique, and at the same time it felt like not unique enough. Sometimes I felt like I was strapped to a weapon for far longer, and I think I spent a bunch of time in the game with the same weapon. And sometimes the game felt a bit without direction, felt a bit cryptic. Like, it's fine to not have hand holding. I just felt like I didn't get the hints at some points where it would be nice to have a hint. And I complain about that in some Metroid games and even some Zelda, where you have to blow up a wall, but there's no hint. There's no cracks on the wall or stuff. It's like, how do you want me to guess that? Right? I'm just going to shoot at every wall, and then the game becomes really boring. In Symphony of the Night, yeah, there was points where it's like I don't know how do I get past here? I'm just going to throw everything at the wall, die a bunch maybe, and that's it. And sometimes being too cryptic can hurt a little, and I felt like that. I just wanted a bit less cryptic. Just a hint. Just give me a hint. But it was a very good game, and for the time, even more for the time. I do think they never offered a game like that again. Like, the other games are similar, but they are different. They're very unique themselves, which is good, but at the same time I wish they kind of made a game more like this. I guess Harmony of Dissonance was kind of like wanting to be like this, but without the complex stuff like the weapons. So, very good game. Usually I don't have that problem of enjoying games out of their time. There were just points that the game felt frustrating and not as fun, and then there was a bit of... You could enter in an area where enemies were much stronger, and there was no, like, nothing to prevent you from going there. You just go there, and I think it was one of those screaming flowers, and I'm like, oh, there's an enemy, let's whack it, and suddenly I'm dead. But if you save often like I do, it's not a problem. And it's not a problem to have a hard game. The issue is when hard games are not rewarding to play, they don't feel fun, and they just feel punishing. If the game only feels punishing, it's not enjoyable. This was enjoyable. I just felt like could have a bit more in some areas. But for the time, great game. Great soundtrack. I did play the PSP version though, because I wanted to unlock the Maria mode. Because I wanted to try it, or maybe even play it. I haven't got to play it, but I do want to play Maria mode at some point. So, what's next? Wait, can you see? Oh, you can see the windows. And yeah, I was stuck on Symphony of the Night for a month. 2 months. Yeah, that kind of sucked. Next I played Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Again, very good game. But... I played the original one. Again, there were points that the game felt too cryptic. It felt like a game meant to solve Nintendo Power. And at those points it felt a bit... It was hurting a little. And there were... It was really fun that some people showed up on chat and helped me a lot. Because I wouldn't figure out most of the stuff without help. The game just doesn't tell you. You have to try everything on everything. But again, for its time, great game. But when you experience more refined versions of Zelda, it is hard going back. And the Moth boss could go screw itself. Oof, that boss is... And then after that boss, every boss felt easy. Or not nearly as hard. Like, after that, the game was a breeze, except for the cryptic stuff. The bosses weren't as hard. The Moth boss, however, I was stuck on it. I just couldn't deal with that. And yeah, but again, great music, great graphics, it's Zelda. Usually everything is great, as much as some people like to say it's not. Well, there was one or two that it wasn't as good, but still. And I'm going to go ahead because we'll be stuck on Zelda for a while. So, and I was stuck on Zelda for almost a month. Which is why that for next year I want to stream a whole lot more. Next, it was The Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass. So I played Phantom Hourglass because the first time I played it, I did not like it. And I still don't like the boat all that much. I like the boat in Wind Waker more, because I could actually control it. In Phantom Hourglass you just draw the path and use the cannon. So I didn't like as much back then, when it came out. Then I played it again, and I liked it. It's a different type of Zelda. It's one it doesn't have as many dungeons, but it still feels like it has the perfect length. It's not too long, it's not too short. It does put a lot of side quests, which I didn't do any. The side quests are so much to the side, I didn't even see them. That's just how much to the side the side quests are. But there are side quests for... Is it for cosmetics and stuff, I think? It's a game that if you want to beat, you can just follow the story. If you want to explore the world and do quests, side quests, they are there. The game was perfectly fine. It is a very different one because of the touch screen. Since it doesn't have the touch screen, since it has the touch screen, many things are different, and the puzzles sometimes are a bit iffy because they... But I think it was on the next one. They become a bit worse at times. They try to limit the player to the screen, while the enemies aren't limited to what you are seeing. So enemies can attack you from outside of the screen, but your range outside of the screen is very little. And there was puzzles, but I think it was on the next one that kind of suffered from that. But on the DS it was a very good game. It's just the controls, the touch controls suck. Like, touch controls in some games are great. And those games will never be nearly as good outside of the Nintendo DS. Like, LA Beats is a very good game on the DS that will never get out of it, because it relies entirely on the touchscreen, and playing with the mouse doesn't work. Playing with a phone doesn't work. It has to be a stylus. It has to be a thin tip stylus, which is something that they are making Nintendo DS's nowadays, modern ones that run Android and run emulators. If you have a thick stylus, it doesn't work. It has to be thin. You can't cover the screen too much. It was what made the Nintendo DS so good. They understood that. And people still don't understand that nowadays. So yeah, good game, suffers from controls. If not for the controls, it would be a very good Zelda game. But again, without the controls it wouldn't work the same. It wouldn't be the same game, so it is what it is. You have to enjoy it for what it is, not want it to be something else. So next I played Blaster Master Zero 3. Zero. Give me the 3. I think it's that one. Actually, I could zoom in a bit. Never mind, the zoom does nothing. So, Blaster Master Zero 3. It was a very good game. The Blaster Master Zero series is one of the best reboots ever done. I'm not even kidding, it's one of the best reboots ever done. However, it feels like they gave up on it. There was no DLC to have other characters to replay the game. Oh, marriage. And the story of the Zero series is sad. It's just sad. It gets sad and more, and you are trying to do something and you never get to do it. And then you get this ending, which is like, oh, we kind of got it, but But you can see that the DLC is showing up. Actually, I might actually buy the DLC if it's on sale. But it's Shovel Knight and Shantae. I don't care about them that much. I played this one entirely with the Dragon Girl on 2, but that's another thing. But yeah, great soundtrack, great game. Felt different though, and sometimes not in a good sense. The game had a system where you had the option to avoid strong enemies and fight easier enemies. I don't understand if there's a hidden mechanic. I guess there was like an extra ending maybe, where you had to use, if you didn't use the cyberspace as much, there was a different result or something. I forget. Still, Blaster Master Zero is one of the best reboots ever done. It mixed the localized English version of the NES game and used the original story, which we didn't get in English, of the original game. So when they translated the game, they removed the original story and made a different one. And the Blaster Master Zero series mixes those two. So the original Japanese game is the prequel, and then the NES game, localized for English, is the current timeline. It's the present. So it was cool if you know the story of the original games, and the difference where the game is the same, it's just that the translation removed the story and changed that. But in gameplay, it's the same game, I think. No changes. So, great game, I liked it. Was the best reboot I've ever played. What's next? Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. And then I'm so far from my keyboard I can barely even type it. Okay, can I get my keyboard closer to me today? Because I'm actually typing for once. So, Spirit Tracks, it's again same thing as actually no. I played it when it came out. I really liked it, and I did a bunch of side quests and all. Then I replayed it, but when I replayed it because it was on stream, I wanted to just beeline for the main story. On stream, I don't care about side quests all that much unless they are connected to the main game. So I beelined to the ending. I enjoyed the game. I did have some issues with some puzzles, but again, it's a different type of game. It's a different type of Zelda. The length is perfect, and I like the train. Even though it has limitations, which is what I didn't like about the boat, I actually like the train better. But I didn't do the side quests and the main content, the side content, so I didn't show it that much. But you can play like almost a train simulator where you fight enemies and do deliveries and stuff. The side quests are fun, and the systems to make rupees are fun. So it's a great game, again, locked to the Nintendo DS, and if you remove it from the Nintendo DS, you will not experience the same game. It will be different. Because like the boomerang and some weapons, they work and are fun because of the touchscreen. And I did use a hack to use the D-pad, which helped a lot. So, yeah, let's go ahead because I don't have much time. Even though it's only 18 minutes, there's many more games. And if I have time, I can go back and talk about the previous ones. So next it was... Oh! Ace Combat Legacy Plus, which we can't see because this site could use words. Okay, there, it's a Plus version, it's a 3DS version. Really fun game. I didn't know it, but it's a remake of the second Ace Combat game for the PlayStation. I don't know how it stacks against the original. Maybe one day I'll play the original. I do want to play the more games, more Ace Combat games. They are fun and they are not long. It had some really good soundtrack songs. The soundtrack was very good. The first battle you played the first battle, great music, and you recognize you might recognize the composer. It had many. The first track is from Go Shina. I can't pronounce it. It does the God Eater games soundtrack, and I forgot the name of the game. The one that's like a Souls game, but it's not. But it's still from Bandai. Where is it? I played it on Steam. Code Vein. It did the soundtrack for that too. Really good soundtrack. But it has other people too, I think, doing the soundtrack. The game is fun. The controls can suffer a bit at times. But at least they let you use the classic controls. And you are not forced to the modern ones. The modern ones make the game too easy, but they don't give me the freedom I'm used to. I used to play Crimson Skies, and I played some simulators, and when you get used to flying on those games, using a modern scheme which limits your freedom sucks. It's the issue I had with Warframe. Warframe tried to make space combat, and then they limit you to the horizon axis, and it sucks. And they don't understand that for flying battles you need throttle, which they had on a version of Skywing, but yeah. These games are fun, they are arcadey, and I changed the controllers, which I'm not very good at on the controller. Controller makes it harder, even more without proper dead zones. But very good game. Well, maybe I don't know in the context of Ace Combat, but still very fun. I actually played a bit more to unlock some more airplanes, which was fun. I mean, it wasn't on stream, but sometimes I do a couple of battles, and yeah, it's a very good game. And even more on the PSP, because the PSP it's like very generic. The games on the PSP, I didn't like them because it felt like I'm just playing inferior PS2 versions, not a game that was made for portability. Actually, this wasn't on the PSP. This was on the 3DS. But it was on the PSP. Hello! This was a 3DS version, but I think it was on the PSP. But still, for the 3DS as well, which felt a bit more generic than the previous DS, it was a good game, but it did have that home console feel to it, where this game could have existed in any other console. Like the DS doesn't really benefit it all that much, except having the map on a different screen. So what's next? Oh, Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. I played Minish Cap when it came out. Actually, it wasn't when it came out, but afterwards. I liked it. I heard people complaining about it. I didn't understand the complaints. It was fun. I guess they didn't like the medals or something. It's just side quest stuff. It's like they try to do a side quest stuff. What I didn't like about this game is that the L button is arrested for the medals, and the medals you only use in very specific contexts, when like talking to characters. So you lost a key that you could have used for something else, like bringing up a menu to select items faster, and because you need to change items often, and you just have a useless key for something that you only do once in a while. That's my only complaint. Controls could have been better, and like I really think this game could have used a quick access menu, because I was constantly going to the menu, changing weapon, go to the menu, change weapon, go to the menu. It was tiring doing that all the time. Sometimes I didn't even try to avoid it. Still, a perfectly fine portable Zelda. It had like a good length. It was perfect length, not too long, not too short. There's side quests for you. It was a good game. It doesn't need to have 8 shrines and the final level. Like, it was perfectly fine because it had plenty of content. So I liked it. I think it's a great game. That didn't really bother me. It didn't even talk as much as I thought it would talk. So yeah, good game. Even more, it looked great on the Game Boy. It's a great looking game. It might actually be the best looking game on the Game Boy. So next we have Survival Kids. So Survival Kids is not this one. Screw that. This game sucks. It should. Oh, sorry. This game shouldn't exist. This game here shouldn't exist. And it's a shame it does. Now, Survival Kids is great. It's a survival game on the Game Boy Color. It has crafting, it has hunger, thirst, fatigue. I think it's fatigue that they call it. Or tiredness, I forget the name. I played it again. It's not. I played it a few times before. I did all the endings as well on this playthrough. It was an all endings playthrough. And yes, it has. Was it 8? I always forget how many endings there are. If it's 6 or 8. But yeah, there's a bunch of endings depending on what you do. It's a great game on the Game Boy, and I like that it's not too harsh on the survival aspect, but it's still hard enough. And it has a really the little story it has, it's nice. The second game, for example, I didn't like it as much, and I never got far because I don't care about the story. The story is the 2 kids get kidnapped and they're put in a prison in an island. That just escaping the prison is a pain. And then the island itself didn't feel interesting. I wasn't a fan of the second game, and Lost in Blue are very, very harsh when it comes to surviving. It's a game that you can finish very fast or takes very long because of the survival aspect. It can delay you a lot. And one of the reasons I have been putting off playing Lost in Blue is not just that. It's the ending of it. The ending of it sucks. But I've seen people that know how to play it, and when they get to the ending, they use save states. Because the ending of the game is awful. It's you know, maybe not awful, but it's not pleasant. It's annoying. It's very annoying. It's not fun. But to Survival Kids, great game on the Game Boy. For a Game Boy, the graphics are great. You understand everything you are looking at, which is very important in a game like this. It has fun mechanics. It has nice music when it does. It doesn't have much music, but what it has, it's good. And it's a game that goes under the radar. No one really cares much about a survival game on the Game Boy, which is a shame. Because in the history aspect of it, it's a game that came out early for its time. And next we have Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. It's Wind Waker. What else can I say? Right? It's Wind Waker. I like that. However, looking for the Triforce pieces suck in this. I played the GameCube version, and in that version, looking for the Triforce sucks because it's a two-step thing. You have to look for the chart, and then from the chart you have to find the pieces. Doing those 2 steps, it makes the game come down to a crawl, and I did not like that aspect, which is why they removed that. They made it so when you instead of finding the charts, I think you find the Triforce right away. You skip one of the steps, and I think that's the right decision. Like, doing it twice, no, it sucked. Anything else? Good characters. I like that side quest, and I did it on purpose. Which is the is this Karen's music on Back to Nature? I think it is. Oh no, is it Hans? I always forget. Who is it? I want to see. Where is it? Oh, it's Party. Okay, they doesn't say. Anyway, I did the side quest of the rich girl, which then becomes poor. It's a very nice side quest, because even though she was a rich girl, she's still willing to work and to get a better life for herself. And it's a side quest where you hear Link meowing. He pretends to be a cat, and he says meow, and it's very funny, and I had to do it just because of that. But yeah, the soundtrack, great. There's a reason why people still hear the Wind Waker's soundtrack to this day. Graphics, I have no issues. It does have a very peculiar style, very unique, and some people don't like it. And you can see that Minish Cap also had it, and the DS games. I had no issues with it. I think for its time the game looked great. It looked very good. I think it might as well be one of the best looking games, even though it has that style. So, what's next? Oh, we are halfway through, and it's half an hour, so we are going at a nice pace. Oh, it was the end of my Zelda game playthroughs. At this point I was a bit burnt out, and I needed a break. I did want to play the Game Boy Color games, and maybe Twilight Princess, but yeah. I had Twilight Princess is one game I don't like all that much. I tried to play it multiple times, I just couldn't get into it. But I do want to play at least the Game Boy Color games at some point. Maybe the 3DS game, but I don't like the things it does, even though it's a fine game, and it's the only game with Princess Hilda. Is it Hilda? And yeah. So next it was Super Mario 64 DS. I wanted to play 64 again, but I didn't want to play 64 itself, and so I wanted to play something more unique, so I went with DS. I did use the hack to use the analog stick, which made the game much better, but at times also made the game much worse. Yeah, I need to play Twilight Princess at some point. I was just burned out of Zelda. I played like, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Zelda almost in a row, so very close to each other, so I was a bit burned out. But yeah, next I played Mario 64 DS because I wanted something more unique, more different, and I wanted to at some point actually complete the DS version, or rather just finish it. It was interesting. I did use the analog stick, which made things easier and at times harder. And that's the issue with this game. The game is fine by itself. It adds things that make it be its own version, but the controls suck. It shouldn't have been a DS game. A 3DS game, it would have been great. Not a DS game. Like, if you wanted to make a better version of a game, could have been Super Mario World, for example. Super Mario World on the DS could have been fun, but they wanted to show off and show a 3D game running on the DS on a very small thing, so it was 64. And kind of sucked. I wish they made a compilation. Like, when they sell, which they already did. But if they were to put Super Mario 64 on the collection, they should include the S as a different version. Like, remove the touchscreen on all that crap. Just keep the graphics and the new character mechanics, which were fun, and just put it there. I think it would be nice to keep and let people choose which version they want to play. But yeah, the game itself is fine. I have no issues. The controls are the issue, which is what kills the game, honestly. Which is a shame, because the game is fine. And if you don't like the graphics, just play the original. Who cares, right? You have choices. Or play both if you want to. No point in overthinking and make a war about the game. Just play what you want. And next was Super Mario 3D Land. Super Mario 3D Land, great game. What else to say? There was times that it annoyed me because it felt like they could have done more. Sorry. They could have done more. And they didn't. And this is a thing that happens in many Mario games, and every time I'm playing a Mario game and I see a desert, and my complaint is the same. Why is a desert level have a castle when it could be a pyramid? The pyramid should be the castle. I don't know if there's like a cultural aspect. They don't want to like have people from Egypt angry at them or something. I don't know. But the pyramid should be the castle. Yeah. And this guy, I think this game does that again. But overall, great game. It does depend on the 3D side of the 3DS sometimes. The perspective in this game sometimes is very important, and if you don't use the 3D, it kind of sucks on some levels. But it's perfectly playable without it. Like, it was a very fun game. So the soundtrack was good, the levels were good. The last boss was good. It was you running away from Bowser. Oh, and that thing. On the last level, you have like there's Bowser's castle, and you see there's Peach, and she's standing still and not moving. And I was like Peach, why the hell are you there? Not moving, just leave. Just leave. And then you go on with the level, and then you go past her very close and you notice it's a cardboard cutout. It's an actual cardboard cutout that Bowser put there to trick you. And you go around it and you see it's cardboard being held by the opposing cardboard there. And I was like, yeah, that was a very good detail. Very good. Whoever done that, great. Again, Super Mario 3D Land, great game. And it feels like it went unnoticed for the most part. No one talks about this one. It has no ports, which is a shame. Even more because Super Mario 3D World is on the Switch, I think. And that game is very good as well. Anyway, next. Oh, okay. Yeah, the space kind of makes it... What the hell am I typing? Okay, the legendary Starfy. It's a fun game on the DS. It does some things very interesting where the game is 2D sprites, but the background is 3D. And it's actually very good because the background never mixes with the foreground, and so you never lose track of what's happening. And the water effect in this game is very nice. You see the top of the water, and the top of the water lets you know how deep or how high you are. I really like the water effect in this game. It was very good. And more games should learn from this game. The gameplay is very simple. The gameplay is very simple. It's kind of a kid's game, really. So the gameplay isn't outstanding, but it's good still. It can get a bit repetitive, and it can get a bit not exactly boring, but you kind of start getting a bit lulled by it. It can get a bit sleepy at times. But it's a good game for what it is. I never played the GBA games though, but I think they are good, but they are in Japanese. But people with a Switch can play them. They put it on the Switch even though they are in Japanese. If you have the subscription and you have the GBA games, it's there. The 3 games, just not this one. And it's a shame because this game has a story, and it's kind of related to the previous ones, maybe. But yeah, it's a fun game. You mostly swim around. Sometimes you have to go on the surface. It's a fun little game. It's perfectly fine. I'd say it's still one. It might be one of. Not top. I wouldn't say top 10, but if maybe a top 100. Maybe this game would make it. It's just don't expect Dark Souls of platforming. It's not. In fact, most of the game is swimming anyway. And next is Super Mario Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine, which feels like the black sheep of the 3D games, the 3D Mario games. I liked it. Some of the flaws of the game annoyed me. And the other day I was watching someone say, "Oh, the stages without flood, I think that's the name of the water thing, were the best ones because it was just Mario, classic Mario." And you know what? What's funny is that I hated those stages. To me, it felt like the worst part of the game were those stages, because they were detached from the game. They felt like bonus stages, but they were part of the main game. So you needed to beat those stages, but they were detached from the main game. Like, why are we playing outside of the main game when the platforming could have been in the world? In the stage. Yeah, actually the Mario movement in this game was very good. Like, he has some movement options were very good. But without FLUDD, it didn't feel good. Like, the game was meant to use that. And when I couldn't use it, it also limited my movement a bit. Oh, he did not have the long jump. And that sucked. Not having the long jump from 64 made this game worse. Like, the movement in this game is good. Very good, very interesting. Not having not having the long jump made it worse. And then without FLUDD, like if I'm playing a game with a new gimmick, the gimmick has to be part of the game. So yeah, and some abilities weren't very. They weren't used. Like the FLUDD ability to run was great, and it's such a shame they didn't use it as much, because it was very fun. And Yoshi sucked in this game. Why did they bother coding Yoshi? It was pointless. Like, it was pointless. I don't like it. I don't like how pointless Yoshi feels in Mario games. Like, you get Yoshi and it's like, oh, Yoshi is fun. And then the next stage and the next 10 stages, you don't see Yoshi anymore. Why bother? You might as well give a different power-up that you can put in every stage. I don't like when Yoshi is so optional, he might as well not be there. But yeah, I liked the game, the physics kind of sucked. I had issues with the physics. Some platforms Mario would go crazy and I couldn't control him. He wouldn't jump, he wouldn't move, he would just slide. Not even slide, he would be stuck on the landing animation, which made him slide outside out of the platform and die. And I didn't go to that level that everyone hates. The pachinko level. I didn't do that. But I didn't need to, because there was a previous level that was so bad that it was kind of like that, and it was so bad that I skipped it. I did a high jump and skipped the way you were meant to beat the level. I just skipped it, and I spent a ton of time trying to skip it, but I didn't care because the level itself sucked. So what's next? But still, I still liked the game. The flaws hurt it, and I wish they fixed that. So next is Kunoa Door to Phantom Hill, or Phantom Isle. It's Kunoa is very unique. It makes very good use of the 3D space, and I feel like I should speed up a bit because I don't have much time and I still have a bunch of games. So Kunoa makes very good use of the 3D space despite being a 2D platformer. So it's a 2D platformer with 3D graphics, and sometimes it uses the background and the foreground. Like sometimes there's things outside of the space where you can run and you can throw enemies there to get it. But it's mostly like a puzzle platformer rather than a platformer. And I was talking about that yesterday. That Kunoa's movement is... It doesn't move fast and always moves at the same speed. So the platforming never gets very challenging, except when it's very punishing. What's challenging is using the enemies to achieve the goal. So it's kind of like a puzzle where you have to use the enemies and deal with the puzzles. The levels are a bit long, but the game itself isn't. So, and yeah, it's a nice looking game as well. Very good, not very, but it has a good soundtrack. It's just not as memorable, and sometimes they feel like it feels like they are being a bit artistic with the soundtrack, where it fits the level, but it doesn't like pump you up to beat the level. And sometimes we like having a song that pumps you up. But still, good game. For the PlayStation, good game. Now, let's see. Next I played Super Mario Brothers. However, I played the All-Stars version. And I think they don't have an entry for that here. So... But I don't want to add All Stars because I didn't beat Lost Levels. Yeah, I played this one. But I didn't play all of them. Oh well. I just didn't beat Lost Levels, so who cares? So, I played Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3 on the All-Stars version. Super Mario 1 on the All-Stars version kinda sucks. Like, I like the looks, and it was a very good remake of it. There was a big issue, which was when Mario hits a box. On the original, he would hit the box and come down, like, he would do like jump, hit the box here, and go down. Like that. And there's a jump on World 5 or something where you need to do that. You need to hit and go down. Because when you hit, you keep the momentum forward, so you could do a long jump. The issue here is, imagine if each game is a block, and you go and the jump is going to be like this. You go up, hit this box, it breaks, but you go down. But because on All Stars, Mario keeps going up after breaking a box, you would jump, break this box, and keep going up. And then you hit this box forward, which doesn't break it, and you fall down like a rock. And there's a hole here, and you needed to reach this side here. So before you would do this and reach the other side. But on the All-Stars you do this, keep going up, hit here and fall down. So if Mario had a mushroom and was big, he would fall. But if you lost the mushroom and it was small, you would hit the block and keep going forward and get to the other side of the hole. Which was how it was intended, but because they changed the physics and didn't change the level, it sucked. It was very annoying to notice that they screwed up that level and they should have changed it. The hole shouldn't have been there because Mario couldn't do the jump. He just couldn't do the jump with the mushroom. Maybe you could like just do a tiny jump and maybe make it, but you would almost always hit the ceiling and the block and you would fall. And you were intended to hit the block, which is what sucks. So Super Mario 1, I was raging most of the time because I was getting stuck on certain levels, and then I saw that. That's a really bad thing. But otherwise, perfectly fine. It was Mario. It was the first game with better graphics, and that's it. That one thing with the box is really bad. And if someone patched out, this game would be perfect. Because it wasn't part of the original. So, Super Mario 2 was perfectly fine. It's Super Mario 2. I've beat it before on the GBA, which they had the new stuff, but it kind of still sucks there. It's Super Mario 2. It was interesting. I played it all with Peach because she can float, and I just think it's funny to play as Peach. I think it's funny to see the princess with a very puffy, long dress running around. So, perfectly fine. But yeah, it's not exactly Mario, but it's a reskin game. Super Mario 3, it was great. I kept getting stuck on some levels and restarting the entire world. And the last world, I think it was very forgiving on that aspect. So, yeah. And then, but yeah, it was Super Mario 3 with different graphics. It was a great game. The power-ups were fun. It had a ton of them, unlike many of the other games. So yeah, Super Mario World. Again, it was fun. The map was good. It was nice to have a map with things to discover. I don't think I had many issues with it. Again, it's just that I feel like I didn't see Yoshi enough, and I didn't use the power-ups enough because I kept losing them, but then I'd survive without them just fine. So I never got to use the power-ups much, and I got stuck on a level because I couldn't do it. And because I kept getting the Koopas killed when they shouldn't. Because I kept clipping them on the walls. And there was a level that I was actually struggling. But I decided that I already died like 5 times, I might as well die 10 and get it done. So yeah. I'm going to speed up a bit because I'm a bit out of time. Next it was Match Ball. Caterpillar. Yeah, it's not this one. This site doesn't have the game, which sucks. Oh, it does, but you have to type a different. Oh, you can type Matchbox. So I played Caterpillar Construction Zone. This game is like a demo of Caterpillar machines on the Game Boy Color. It's impossible to lose this game. You just do simple tasks with the machines. They tell you the stats of the machines. I don't know why this game exists, I just like it. So you just drive the machines around, do the task, and that's it. And they give you information about the machine. It's like they're selling you the machine, but it's a Game Boy Color game. Who's playing this? Kids? The kid is not going to buy a machine like that. So is it a demo for people who want to buy these machines? But it looks like a kid's game. And it by Matchbox, which made toy cards, I think. So yeah, but I played it because I just like it. I don't know why. And I like the graphics and the music of it. It's just interesting to me that this game exists, and I don't know why. So next I played Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure. It's a very good beat 'em up. It's a very good beat 'em up, but it skips the levels felt a bit too long, and then it skips a ton of story to fit everything in very few levels. And then it had a fighter mode where you one-on-one fight, which was kind of annoying, but it's fun to have variety. But as a beat 'em up, it was a very good one. Like it's a hidden gem and looks great. It actually looks very good on the Game Boy. I put it on a list of 100 Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games. This would be there. So next, I made a mistake. Can I move it? Oh, I can. You can move it. Great. So Super Mario World was after Dragon Ball. Next, it was Dragon Ball Origins 2. I had to skip Origins 1 because it only has touch controls, and this one has regular controls. This game was fun. The issue is it felt like it was dragging, and sometimes it was a bit cryptic. The levels felt like they dragged a bit too much. They could have been a bit shorter, but there's a lot of levels, and there's a lot of side content. A lot, which I didn't do. But there's a lot of side content, there's other playable characters that you can improve. Didn't you even play as Bulma? I think yeah, you play as Bulma. I think it had 2-player mode as well. I think it's a shame that the other characters don't show up to fight with you, because some fights could have used other characters. But still, it was a very good game. It was, for its time, on the DS, it was a very good game. Just a tiny bit repetitive at times. Some levels felt too samey, but still, it's a nice action game. It's like top down. It was very nice, and it was kind of long. Next, I played Super Mario Land. Super Mario Land is Super Mario Land. What's there to say about Super Mario Land? And I might as well add Super Mario Land 2 as well. So I got to beat it in one go, which I didn't expect, and I only died like very few times actually. It's a very different Mario. They kind of didn't know what they were doing, I guess. And the soundtrack is great. Not having the star song, Star Power song, kind of sucked because it was like a royalty-free song. It's a very short game, even more because it's on a portable console, doesn't save, doesn't have password, so it has to be short. But still very enjoyable. I have no issues with it, and it does some very unique stuff. I like the shooter stages and stuff. It was a fun game. I wish they went back and did another game like this. Super Mario Land 2 felt like more traditional Mario, but on a small screen. Again, I like it. The power-ups can be a bit OP. Oh yeah, on Super Mario Land 1, the firepower ricochets on the walls, which makes it very fun. On Super Mario Land 2, the flying power was kind of broken. And the issue with this game is because it's not linear. You choose which levels you want to do. Like, you play the game in the order that you want. And because it's not linear, it's not world, but every zone is kinda easy. But when you get to the last level, it gets much harder, and you are not used to the game being that hard. So the last level feels much harder than anything else in the game, which is kind of annoying. But for a Game Boy game, very good one. And I got like 99 lives or something, I forget. I got 99 lives from the slots or something. It was funny, and was very useful by the end of the game. So next, it was World of Illusion, is it starring? It's not starring because it has two R's. Starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. It's one of my favorite games ever, even though it's not the best game ever. I just love it. It has good soundtrack, it looks very good for a Genesis game or Mega Drive game. And it's interesting that if you play as Mickey, he has his own levels, and then Donald has his own levels. And if you play co-op, you get also a few different levels as well. So I did the playthrough as both to show the different levels. I just couldn't do the co-op stuff. But it's very interesting that depending on who you play as, or if you play as both in co-op, you get different levels. And there's one level where it's like Mickey can go on a very tight space and he crawls, but Donald gets his fat ass stuck on that tight space. So if he's alone, he has to go back and go to a different level. If you play in co-op, Mickey will pull Donald through, and the level crumbles apart, and you get a different level because it destroyed the level. But yeah, very fun. It's very fun when you understand the game. The issue is understanding the game. And then next it was Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku. It's an interesting game, let's just say that. it's not a great game. The ideas are there, but the game isn't great, which is a shame. So, yeah. I'm going to add more height. We need at least one more. So, and that's because I'm going to add the second game. It's like here. So, the first game here, this one, wasn't great. The ideas were there, but the game wasn't great. So, yeah, it was a shame. But that's how it goes. Then I played Hamtaro. Sorry. My nose is very stuffy and it's getting worse, so sometimes it's a bit hard to say things. Hamtaro Unite. It's a very it's not very fun, but it's a very interesting Game Boy Color game. So you just go around talking to other hamsters and trying to say the right words to them to get the things done. So you have to learn words, then use those words to learn more words, and then help the other hamsters do whatever they need, so they teach you more words. And you need to get a bunch of hamsters back to the house, so you can... I forget, it was a party. But yeah, I just didn't beat the post-game stuff, which is getting the stars. I didn't bother. But it's a very nice looking Game Boy Color. You understand what you are looking at, and I think that's what's important. And the game portrays the world from the view of hamsters, so you see things very big on the screen. But that's good because they are small and the things are big, so a box of cookies is very big for you. And you understand what you are looking at, which I think it's what's most important in games, even more on retro games. If you look at something and you don't understand what it is, then the game doesn't look good, right? Because you don't understand it. Okay, we need to speed up, because I'm already over time. Okay, New Super Mario Brothers. And let's add 2 and Wii. And then I'll organize it. But yeah, New Super Mario Brothers. It was a nice... Is it a reboot? I don't know. It's a nice modern version of traditional Mario. I think that's all that you need to say. It's good. It's just good. I didn't like it the first time I played it. The second time, I did. I like these games. They are perfectly fine. It is weird that Koopas and Goombas are in 2D, are 2D sprites, while everything else, every other enemy was 3D. It was a bit weird. And I wonder if they changed direction with the game. But yeah, it was fun, it's a good game. Can get a bit repetitive. So, what was next? I had those games so I don't have to go get them again. Next it was Legacy of Goku 2. This was much better. It was a much better game. It was a much better RPG. It did get a bit grindy at times, which it wasn't optimal. But it's a good game, just not a great game, and lacks in variety. You pretty much just spend time punching and sometimes use key attacks, and some abilities or some key attacks felt useless. Like Gohan's Masenko is useless. I don't know why did they even bother putting the power in the game. It sucked. So next it was New Super Mario Bros. 2. It's there. Now, if you play the Wii version, which came out before Super Mario Bros. 2, if you play this game first, oh, it's not that one. But if you play the Wii version first, then Super Mario Bros. 2 sucks. if you play this one first and then Wii, this game is fine. It's more New Super Mario Brothers, but with better graphics and the gimmick about getting coins. It's more of the same. I just didn't like how unlocking the extra levels felt in this game. It felt bad. It felt cryptic. Not bad, it felt cryptic. It was annoying. I didn't bother. In this one it felt better. In New Super Mario Bros. Wii, actually, well, it's not next. So, if you played this before Wii, it's good. It's fine. I liked it. I understand that people don't like this after Wii. This was made to be a portable game and not a home console game, which was the flaw. The 3DS could do more, and they made it based on this one rather than this one, which is why it feels bad. It is. They shouldn't have done that, and it is an outdated design philosophy. Older games were made to be portable, like Super Mario Land was made to be portable. This game wouldn't work if they wanted to make traditional traditional Mario from the NES, which they did later on. But again, it was later on. They had to use a different cartridge. It had saves, and it still sucked because the screen was too small. But yeah, I don't think this is a bad game. It's only bad if you play this one first. So in a way, I agree that they shouldn't have done this game the way they did. But it's still good. It's not bad. So next it was Dragon Ball Z Bu's Fury. And Bu's Fury was it was interesting. It had added equipment, which had effects sometimes, but it took steps back. Like the world not having dots on it, and you having to search. You had to actually find the places, and they wouldn't show up on the world map. They would be on the world, just not on the map. So finding where places you could go felt painful. I didn't like it. And the worst part is that you only see that you can enter a place when you get very close. This isn't like old Final Fantasy where you see a town and you can go there. No, here sometimes it was a forest, and there was no indication that that portion of the forest was different from the forest around it. So it was a bit... Sometimes it was annoying. But it was a nice action game. It's a shame they removed the charge attacks, because I like them. They removed those. But the new stuff, like the equipment and the stats, they were good. The issue is when you try to adapt a Dragon Ball story to a game, the pacing will suffer. Like some stories just don't work as games. And then an action RPG in Dragon Ball Z story that isn't new will kind of suck for pacing. It's why for example Evangelion has plenty of games and most kind of suck in pacing, because you are just going to fight like 12 angels and the final boss, right? What's in between? There's nothing. So Dragon Ball Z is kind of the same. There isn't much between the big fights. So they added the thugs and stuff. So yeah, it's an interesting game, but the pacing sucks. So next it was New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It was a great game. It has the same issue that I find with every Mario game. Every Mario game has the same issue for the most part, which is that they have these very, very interesting powers and very little places to use them. Like the penguin suit or form or power up shows up in like a handful of levels or something. And besides there, nothing. And even on those, if you lose the power at some points on the levels, you end up doing the entire level without the power, which is very boring. There's one level that's made for that power, and I did the entire level without it. Because they couldn't bother putting more power-ups in the middle of the level. It's kind of like, come on. Let us have fun. This game isn't hard, so you could spam powers on a level to have fun. You could have levels for fun. And sometimes they skipped on that. And I wish they used the power-ups more. Think like Zelda, right? In Zelda you get the weapon on the dungeon, and that dungeon will use that weapon or that item. And it feels good to use in that context. And sometimes I feel like Mario could use that, even if it was at least just a level for fun. Well, a second level, because the first level already introduced you to the new power-up anyway. I just wish there was more places to use the power-ups. And sometimes I just felt like I was using the power-up, like the one to fly. I was just using that to get extra lives and skip the levels. I'd skip the level by floating, and then if I had the power at the end of the level, I'd always get a 1-up. That's it. So, yeah. I wish there was more. More places to use the powers properly. I guess that's what 64 does very good. It gives you places to use the power-ups. And then next is Kunoa again. Kunoa 2 Unatea's Veil. It was a fun game. It was a fun game. I had very little issues except with the board, which you can see in the picture. The board, on the first stage with the board, it was great, very fun. The other ones were much harder, and the board is a bit unwieldy. Like, turning on the board can get you killed sometimes. You can lose control very easily. And when that happens, it kind of sucks. But the game itself was fun, and instead of power-ups, it's a game that uses the enemies. Some enemies had specific properties, so when you throw them, they could do something different. One made Kunoa jump high and could hit enemies and kill them. Another was a crystal that you had to pair with another crystal, and you had to use the enemies to charge up, and you had to like figure out how you could charge the enemy and still reach the crystal. It was like a puzzle. So yeah, it's a platformer, but more on the puzzle side. And then there's the action phases with the board, which were fun. And there's I want to play it. I don't know what this one is. What's this? Oh, it's the same game but with a different cover. And this is the GBA game. I want to play this at some point. This is the GBA game. I guess the dog appears again. This is this is the remake. Okay. So what if I just search Kunoa? Does it this is the Wii game here. This is the volleyball game. Where's the GBA? It's this one, yeah. Empire of Dreams. I guess Lolo doesn't show up on this, but maybe it shows up on the second one, because you can see there's the dog, so Lolo should be... Yeah, oh, she's here. She's hiding there. Okay. But yeah, Kunoa 2 Unatea's Veil was fun. It's a very nice platformer for the PlayStation 2. It's just... It's not the same type of platforming game as other platforming games. It's more on the puzzle side. So yeah, I liked it very much, and that's it. I wanted to play Toy Story, but I couldn't. I wanted to play Story of Seasons today, but I ran out of time. I was too late for that, and honestly, I'm too late to even finish. I should have finished like 25 minutes ago, and I'm still yapping. So yeah, it wasn't 30 games. Oh, they still played like Stardew and Harvest Moon GBC 3 and Story of Seasons, but I didn't finish any of those, so I'm not having those. And I'm not. I think I finished Mega Man Battle Network 2 off stream, and I finished New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, but because it wasn't on stream, I'm not having here. These are all games I beat on stream. So 30 games. It was nice. I wanted to do more, but it was nice. They were mostly short games though. Next year I want to do longer games. I have a bunch of games that I want to play, and they are all very long, so I've been delaying them. Still, it was a very nice list of games to play on here. I guess next year I'll maybe start with Toy Story, because I wanted to play that this year. And then I'm going to do Mario Galaxy 1, and then 2, and then I don't know. I'll probably play the Sonic games, and I want to play Mario Tennis on the Game Boy. And maybe maybe as well the Game Boy Advance version. My native language was sneaking up on me there. Sometimes it sneaks up. But yeah, it was a very nice list of games for here. But as for today, I'm out of here. So yeah, for next year I want to play longer games and do longer streams, so I could play those longer games. Because if the streams aren't longer, then I can't play longer games. So yeah, I'm out of here. I'll be back. I don't know if I'll be back Friday or next Monday. Maybe Friday, but just maybe. Probably not. If I can do Friday, I'll do. If not, I'll be back Monday. Oh well. Maybe I'll play a bit of Harvest Moon 2. Oh, there's one more. Oh, I need to make this fast. I forgot about this. Harvest Moon GBC. I finished that. I got the master, ranch master title, even. So I finished that, and I streamed it, but it was without commentary. And I don't know why it's not. I didn't list it, but yeah. I think that's all. Yeah, so if I have time, I'll do some GBC2 without commentary. And if I don't, then I don't. So yeah, I think that's all. I don't have quite the time to search through my YouTube to find. But yeah, GBC1 is... it's farming on a very small scale, so... It's very bare bones. It's very so it doesn't have much content. It's just farming. You just farm like crazy. And that's it. There isn't much to say. It's a nice port, but it's a very bare bones one. So, yeah, I'm out of here. I'll be back either Friday or Monday. Either way. Oh, why are you showing up there? Oh, what the hell happened? Okay, something kind of died. I don't know what happened, but I vanished. So, oh boy, yeah, OBS is kind of giving up on life, and I'm my oh no. Oh no. What have I done? Okay, there we go. For some reason, OBS added the Firefox window. Oh, it was me. It was me. I added the Firefox window to... Okay, now my filter died. Oh no. No. Now I'm muted. Oh, I don't know what's going on. OBS is going crazy. So my auto filters died, I guess. Oh no. Oh no. So OBS killed all my filters. I don't know what happened, but OBS killed all my filters. So nothing works, and I have to go fix it all, and I don't know why that happened. OBS is such garbage sometimes. Oh well, I'm out of here. Have a happy new year. Hopefully next year things don't break. Because this is a disaster, and I'm going to spend like 1 hour fixing this. This sucks. Oh well. Have a happy new year. I'll be back soon. Until then, bye bye.